Alright lads, back on the battlefield. Battle for Middle-earth 2, Two Towers are not enough. And in this one, we have game 2 of the games that we were playing on the 15th of March 2021. And in the first one, Carl was able to basically eat all of our lunch and had some he had time for dessert as well, to be fair. So in this one, we decided to just go random and just see what the fuck happens. So here's me, and I am Gobbo. So yep, I drew a short straw. Let's put it that way. Down here, Ryan, and he is dwarves. Dwarves not one of Ryan's favourites, that's for sure. He was probably thinking, oh shit. And over here we have Lewis. As men already getting the banner carrier upgrade, he must be going very hero heavy, let's put it that way. And archers heavy, interesting. He's not going to come out with Aragorn, is he? Alright, up here, who's the unlucky one in the shitty spot? And it's Jackson. Right, yep, that sucks Jackson. He's coming out with Lego. He's got Lego first. He's going straight for this little fucker over here, and to get that Kizash. I think it's at least about 1,000, I think, and some good opportunity to level Lego up. Right. Oh, and look who it is. So old Carly boy is up here, and I would say Carl is pretty much equal in his devastation with both Isengard and men. So I think Carl had a very favourable turnout here with one of his prime factions. And look at this dinking around here, you know, swiveling it around. Bloody hell, they're playing like a pro. Okay. Right, he's got his pikeys. He wants that money. He wants that do-re-mi. That's what Jackson wants. Jackson's thinking, oh shit, I'm elves. Everything's bloody expensive. I need this money. So yes, very good. How much? Yeah, I think we're pretty close to about 800, something like that. Right. He's got his archers. He's coming out with a pretty mixed force here. I think that's a good shout. I feel Jackson's pain here. Where exactly do you expand that's sort of not within the view of somebody who would think that you're, trying to wind them up? So yeah, I hear. Alright, so I thought, well, Spider Riders and these guys, so at least I can get the best units of what goblins have. Obviously no archers, and I don't even bother dabbling with any heroes either as goblins. If you're going to go for Drogoth, that's great. He can get, the odd siege here and there. He can pop out of nowhere and get them, sure. But if you're up against like all of these rangers, and the rangers are sitting by the trebuchets, Drogoth's going to be toast. So you're pretty screwed. He's got his bozzer. He wants to level him up, but he does not a lot of damage against buildings. Right, and here we go. This is a pretty good force, actually. I think Ryan's actually playing pretty well. Yeah, he's got old Gloiny boy. Yeah, he's coming out with all the right sort of people. Want to see these creeps getting destroyed here? I think he's probably leveling them up. Sending him over to the next one. Fair enough, okay. Sending Gloin to the next one to level up. Good. What the fuck? This costs a lot of money to get this. This is about 1,000, I think. I'll tell you what, he's lucky that was actually doing any damage to Lego whatsoever. Rangers. Where is everybody? Lewis. Lego's probably thinking Jackson's just having a wander around. He's thinking Jackson actually thinks he's having a pop here. He's having a pop at your fortress, and there's nothing he can do about it. Oh. Right, Pikey's coming out. Don't see any heroes. Here's a good thing. Jackson is not going in. Now Jackson wants that eagle. Probably a good idea, because he's in a bit of a pull pants down sort of position here. No one has any vision except for me. So I can see who's next to me. And I got some pikeys. I got spider riders coming out. So I'm, you know, it's not going to be too easy. Carl's playing it pretty safe as well. He doesn't want to get sausaged. Ryan adventuring towards the middle a bit here. Lewis would like to adventure. He's got him out now. He's got Bozza. He has to be careful. He's got to be careful here. Yeah. Don't want to do that. Jackson's going to come down here, and it's not going to look good. But these trebuchets might actually end up being quite helpful here. Yeah. Oh, gold. He needs a pikeys over here. Oh, bloody hell, one hit. Oh, they're hitting the wrong thing. He's going to go. Need the other pikeys. There's nothing you can do here. This is just destruction. Bozza, bloody hell. He is gone. Bozza is gone. And one ent. It's interesting because then Jackson has his forces here and he just has one ent and Lego here. And I guess to beat the ent, you have to go out to meet that force. You have to deal with this force to take out the ent. And that is always the trick of siege, I guess. If you have siege protected, then it's the best way to be. But fucking hell, I don't. Lewis came out with the right troops towards the end, but it's almost too little, too late by then. There's nothing you can do about it. I think if there were 3 or 4 platoons of pikeys with like a few platoons of rangers upgraded behind, and Boromir was already here with the Horn of Gondor, I think he would have been able to smack the shit out of this force. But I think that there was experimentation here with like trebuchets, which are good, this is for sure, but they need to be surrounded by lots and lots of towers and buildings. They're more support rather than just rely everything on your trebuchets. Right, what's Ryan doing? Ryan's got his fort. Ryan's got a pretty tasty force. He's even got upgrades on his Men of Dale here. Ryan's thinking to himself, hello, I got some money, I'm not out yet. And Lewis is already trying to build over here, and Ryan hasn't gathered just yet. Right, what am I doing? Right, so I am starting to build some cave trolls. I figured to myself, well, if Carl is next to me, he might have Ivory Tower, which means he can see what I'm doing. When he can press the button, obviously he can see everything, but like his natural vision, I mean, Carl can't see obviously anything here just yet, but if he had that, he could probably see up to about there, I guess. So I like to sort of have some of the more devastating barracks out of the way. Right, here we go. What's going on? Right, fortress is gone. He's got 2 ents now, and he's kicking the bloody thing down. What a disrespect. This is disgusting behaviour by Jackson here, kicking in the barracks. And to be fair, they actually do a shitload of damage, those ents. Damn. Right. He is over here. He probably didn't want to wind up Ryan here. So now Ryan's sending in a fair-sized force, probably a bit overkill. Oh yeah, nice arrow volley there. Be careful, Ryan. Oh, and he's got some troops coming out, and he's using them correctly. Devastating stuff. And he's getting sucked into a fight in the middle here that I don't think Ryan really needed to be part of. And I have some cave trolls. I have some spider riders ready to come out of nowhere and start trampling people. And there goes some cave trolls. And I thought to myself, I just could not resist. But at the same time, It's interesting to see what's going to happen here. Alright, these cave trolls, he's about to get trolled. But not trolled in the doofy sense on social media, I mean proper cave trolled. This is the nastiest way to get trolled. And there's Lewis. Somehow he managed to get a builder up there. Somehow. He's getting out his trebs. He's getting him out. And he's got the ivory tower now. He can see. And I am trolling his fortress. And there we go. And that bugger is going down very quickly. And Ryan now, I think he's clocked it. He's hauling ass to get back here as quickly as possible. So a lot of my efforts are sort of more focused down here. I'm not really focusing on anything that's going on over there next to me or other side or whatever. I'm focusing solely on this. They're doing a lot of damage. And they're doing a lot of damage there. Jackson, I was under the assumption that now, because I remember seeing little bits of Lewis like here, I was under the assumption that Jackson would go in on Carl here. He would go in on him, but he decided not to. How many there? 1, 2, 3, I think. 1, 2, 3. This is a bit of a force here. And I really don't see it. And I think, what am I sending my spider riders there for? That was really stupid. I think that, yeah, that moment there was not good. And the cave trolls have done quite a lot of damage here, but they haven't finished him off. They've crippled him. Oh, Horn of Gondor at the right time, bloody hell. And that is what happens in this game very, very quickly. If you just have one front that is naked, before you know it, troops come in and they're all gone. So I see the arrow volley. I try to move my guys out of the way, but he is absolutely surrounded. If these guys were upgraded, I think it would be a lot more devastating. So yes, managed to destroy his force here, but he's managed to do the damage and take care of my fortress. So that is what you get when you're piddling around trying to attack someone. You see Ryan and you think to yourself, right, I'm going to destroy his fortress. And then before you know it, somebody else like, oh, I'll have a go. So yes, probably should have had at least a few towers up along here, or at least had my force facing this way to dissuade Carl on this side to actually come towards me. But I was still kind of thinking that, Jackson, this was a time to go in, I think. This was a time to go in. Carl is now embroiled in a fight against me. He's committing resources. He's still got some here, but this is still open here. He's got a few ents. I don't know. I think Jackson playing a little bit timidly there, I think. I know sometimes, like on the map, you can see various people having a go at each other and whatnot. I mean, he can't. Yeah, I mean, that's old Lewis up there. That's just not helping anybody. I know you can see various things going on around the map. I would have gone in. Ryan, obviously. Ryan, separate these guys out. One arrow volley takes out half your force. And he's got the money. And Lewis is out of the game. Lewis is out. And he's got enough money to be able to build himself another fortress. So Ryan's doing all right. He's got enough mines. And there's another. Jackson's already got a bloody barracks down here as well. So he's building into this area. This is good. Right. Carl wants to finish me off. Yeah. He wants to get in there. He knows he can't have me just sitting around waiting, because I want to come back. Yeah, God, those butchered to a man those spider riders. Jesus Christ. And bloody hell, it is proving very difficult to get the heroes. Very, very difficult. Units from a circle with pikes extended plus 60% armor. Cool. But yeah, he's already got a position. He's already got a position. He's not got that much here. He's not got that much. I would fancy Jackson here with what he's got to go in. I really would. There's too much dicking around with towers, I think. And Carl is using this lull on the other side to his advantage. Ryan is licking his wounds, but he's got his fortress back and he is making another builder. So Ryan is back. And meanwhile, I am struggling to be able to keep men at bay here. It is very difficult as Gobbos. We just can't seem to catch a break sometimes. Trying to navigate, but in between, trying to trample these rangers. And they do great damage. These things really do great trample damage. And then they fuck it up by going after those guys. I think Carl's still apprehensive about what Jackson's got. Carl can see what Jackson has, but he's already made that that commitment to going over to here. He doesn't really need much to sort of put me out of my misery, but my new fortress back and operational. But still struggling here. What I am hoping from my side is that I know Jackson is still in it, and I'm hoping for him to attack, preferably not Ryan, but to go after Carl. I'm just getting butchered. The moment the platoons come out, they just get annihilated. It's a difficult position to be put into when your whole force is destroyed and the enemy is in your base. They have a decent enough force with heroes, and the moment your platoons come out, they immediately get annihilated. Not a nice place to be at. Carl is still thinking to himself. He's got his force over here. He's only got a little bit of a presence just left. He doesn't have a full presence just yet. Jackson has gone this way. He's gone this way. Oh, is it going to get him? Oh, ouch. And there's a battle going on here. There's a very, very important battle here between Ryan and Jackson here. And I think, yeah, he smells blood. Carl smells blood. He knows. He can see through Ivory Tower. He must have done Ivory Tower. No. I think there must have been a little bit of a moment at the bottom of the map where he can see what's going on. Maybe in the other version of 109 it doesn't come up with that because I think it can make or break winning the whole game. If you see a little bit of what's going, if Carl saw on the map that Jackson had his entire force fighting Ryan at the bottom, and he's already got me sort of like over here where I can't really come back into this game. It'd be a miracle for me to come back into this game, but he knows he can just move his force in. It makes such a huge difference. I think this was a bit of a tactical error here because the space in between you and Ryan is at least one player over, which there's no one in. And I think Carl being right next to you, really close, and has a pretty devastating force, I would have gone in here first. He's already on the fortress. This just proves how deadly this combination of pikeys, upgraded rangers, and upgraded trebuchets can be. It really is devastating. It's just fuck all you can do about it. How do you get rid of all the pikeys? You can't come in there with siege. What do? You can't go in there with cavalry to run them all over. That's not going to work. But I think elves would probably be the closest. I think if this was a straight up fight, I think between what Carl has And if Jackson had his troops here, I think Jackson would have won it because his all of his silver thorns would have pinged the shit out of these guys, and he would have done all right. Oh, this is desperate. This is desperate. Putting on the Ents to try and do something against these guys here. Yeah, and I think to myself, I see a little bit of what's going on the other side. And I think to myself, I need to counterattack against Carl very quickly. So I start bringing out mountain giants. So I am doing my best to get as much cash as possible, but Jackson has already lost his fortress, and he's gone into hiding already. Gordon Bennett. I don't see where else has he got? Where else is Jackson? Well, I can't see him. I'm sure he'll be around here somewhere. Oh yeah. Well, that's his end move. Jackson can't be out of this game. I must admit, I didn't anticipate that Jackson would be out of this so quickly. I thought that would be a fight to the death that Carl and Jackson would be in, and I thought to myself, you know what, if Carl and Jackson go at it, which they inevitably will, that'll leave me alone to be able to get all the upgrades I need and sort myself out so I can counterattack against Carl. Hobbits. Oh, you managed to get one. You managed to get one. These things are just pinging the shit out of everybody. And even the trebuchets are leveling up nicely. It's too bad the trebuchets that are high level don't actually heal themselves. That sucks. And there he is. Frodo. Smoked. There is a new base. Down here. This is the Resistance. Sad times. Sad, sad times. And Carl is probably thinking to himself, right, I need to get back in here. And I think, yeah, this is annoying. Ryan wanted to have a look at what was going on. I took out my lumber mill, for God's sake, man. And Carl doing the damage here. Oh, a nice watcher there would ruin everything, wouldn't it? Oh boy. I'm still a little bit further away from being able to put myself in a position to be able to, I think, properly sort of go after Carl. I'm not quite in the position. I saw what he was doing there. Wasn't going to have that. That's a good thing about cavalry as well. But the thing is Carl has also made enemies all across the map. But he's basically crippled everybody. He's cut everyone at the legs. I think this is a pretty good strat, but the only way in which it's going to work is just if everybody stops going for him. So I think I'm in a position where I have to, whether I like it or not. I would have liked a lot more money, maybe put up some towers or something, even though goblins aren't really a tower defensive sort of team, to be honest. But I figured that I have to do something, or he's just going to build up even better, and there's fuck all I can do about it. But I think he must outnumber me about 2 to 1. And he's probably got loads of power points as well, which I don't have. But got a nice dragon or bullrog would have been pretty helpful. Spider riders trying to get involved. What am I doing with these spider riders? I'm on his fortress. think I was a bit silly there to put the mountain trolls on the front line. Should have had the pikeys in front. Should have tainted the terrain in the wrong area. Oh shit. Yeah, the spider riders did come from behind and managed to take out at least 3 of them, but not enough damage. I think there's just way too much firepower here. And he can counter-attack, and there's pretty much nout here to go up against him. I don't know what's... He's rebuilding his fortress. He's rebuilding his fortress. Jackson's not licked yet. He's back in it. He's still got some trees. He's got his Entmoot. He's even still got this. But I think it's yeah, goblins versus men. We are approaching late game. I think yeah, this will be all she wrote. Pretty much nothing you can do about it. There we go, put the bats on, look at all of that, killed all of the rangers. If you put the bats on and they glow purple, that's pretty much all you need. You managed to sort of stop the momentum of this counter-attack somehow. But if Carl came back, there's pretty much nothing I could do about it. He's already got a decent enough force already, ready to go. Done the Rohirrim. He wants to take out the important buildings here. He knows he has to get rid of me. God, look at that. I did have plenty of pikeys right here, and the pikeys, now they're all gone. So I guess the leadership, yeah, I guess it must be just the leadership. Desperate place to be now. Desperate place. I'm still kind of hoping that somebody else might have gone for Carl from the other side, but I didn't realize that Jackson was was annihilated so quickly. Jackson, I think I know you can't see anything from being elves. I appreciate that, but I think you got to have a little feel for what's going on and who's attacking who and going after it. I think you had a base ending force, and now Carl, he knows that he doesn't have to worry about Jackson at all. One random end. Could it change everything? This guy's on a suicide mission. He's thought to himself, well, he was going to go for it, and he said, oh shit, no, maybe not. And then he's gone. And then Carl sees a bit of danger here. I don't know quite what Lego hoped to do there. But Carl is now free to be able to concentrate his forces on finishing what's remaining of my base. I was kind of struggling for money for quite a lot of this, and naturally the troops that I've got not really gonna be able to contend with all of this, but just need to try and get rid of these trebs. But taking damage from these, it's terrible. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. It seems like there's another force over here, and Ryan and Jackson, the battle for second place. That's what I would call it, the battle for second place. Ryan got sausaged and sort of came back into the game and actually does have quite a lot of forces. I think even Ryan should probably go after Carl actually, because he's doing a lot better than me and Jackson. I think Ryan could have done something, but then again I guess Ryan also cannot see what's going on. But don't tell me that, you know, the map didn't reveal itself a little bit just for a moment and you saw what was going on, that Carl was attacking me or attacking with Jackson, or me attacking Ryan. I am pretty sure Carl had the ivory tower, so he's able to see, but he saw what I was doing, and he saw that my forces were angled in the wrong place, and he knew if he could get there quick enough, then it would be too difficult for me to be able to repel his force, and he was absolutely right. And it was the perfect time to attack. But there must have been some moments, boys, when there was a map reveal, and you can see what's going on, and you can just attack. Jackson is no longer on that part of the map, so he doesn't really need to worry. So his immediate concern is now Ryan. So Ryan and Jackson are sort of fronted against each other. Meanwhile, Carl can just sit back and just sort of finish me off, get all the power points, and then just decide to attack whenever he deems fit. So yeah, pretty good position. I think people need to be a little bit more aggressive. I think Carl is very aggressive in this game. He chose his moments to basically go in and attack people, and I think that's why it really paid off. I went in and took out most of Ryan's force, and I would have come back and finished him off, but Carl came in. Yeah, it is interesting. Now it's just academic. It's just doing the bits. I've already got a couple here. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to go without a fight. I'm going to go straight for his bloody fortress here with some cave trolls. I've still got enough builders, I think. Unfortunately, not enough. Oh. I think if I had actually put it on the other side over here, then I don't think these trebuchets could have actually hit, and these things would have been too slow. Yeah. How is that battle for second place going, boys? Terrible. Jackson's missing out on those all those level 3 farms that Carl has up here. Carl must have a small fortune. Me, 6.5 grand, but can't really do anything with it. Carl, 5 grand, 697.50. Ryan, 600, only 1 grand. And yeah, not enough. Not enough. And I am out of the game. Should have gone after Carl instead. Looking back at that, I thought Ryan was easy pickings, taking out his fortress. There was a moment of weakness. I looked at it and thought, yeah, I'm going to go in there. But what I should have done was actually seen the immediate danger, which was Carl, who was I should have already looked at to sort of guess that he was going to pick his moment to go after me. And to be honest, if he had gone after Jackson, I would have gone after him instead. So it's sort of an equal thing. Jackson's got a couple of platoons here, and they're upgraded. He's going on some dinky little runs. Now he's got to put up some towers. Right, well, if you're Carl, you can just chill here. You don't have to worry too much. Ryan, I want to see some end game product. This is just walling yourself in and not doing anything. I think Ryan could have affected this game a little bit more. Just putting out a couple of these, seeing what's going on, running around the map, seeing what's cracking. If you don't know, if you're a faction that doesn't know what's going on around the map, fucking find out. Find out what's going on around the map. It's not enough to just say, well, I don't really know. Go and have a look. At least Jackson's doing that with his horses and his cavalry. He's just going around having a little look, taking some precautions and whatnot. He's got his horses over here. They're doing some damage. He wants to get those power points, and he wants to have a look around. This is what you got to do. Don't whine. I'm not whining that I'm out. I'm out because I fucked it up royally. I accept that, and I am out. But I think Carl here was aggressive and took advantage of the situation perfectly. I think Ryan here, I think you've been able to rebuild and you've not been touched for basically the remainder of this game. And I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more aggression, I think. I think Carl's definitely the big one on the block here. And unfortunately now you got Jackson, and I can understand why Jackson might send his force. I mean, this is a waste of 3,000 right here. 700 and then 300 for the upgrade. So 3 of them. Yeah. That is a waste of 3,000. Could have got Gimli for that. Could have got Gimli for that. Yeah. Jackson's over here. He's doing his jinky little runs everywhere. This is the Jackson I like. I want to see Jackson doing this. Getting stuck in, pissing people off, taking out their level 3 farms. Because I tell you what, Jackson, if you got rid of most of all, or almost all of the level 3 farms, Carl will basically come to a standstill. But it is the old age trick. Okay, if Ryan was going after Carl and they were embroiled in a huge fight, does Jackson then go after Ryan or does he go after Carl? You know, I think Jackson might sort of think, well, I'm right next to Ryan, and this is an opportunity for me to attack him and put him to the sword. Because I think maybe Ryan's force might get destroyed whilst going up against Carl. But you can see that Carl is clearly the big player, and he's taken me out, and taken Jackson out. So therefore, do you sort of you sucker punch Ryan, or do you sort of do a 2 versus 1? You'd clearly try to gang up on the most powerful player in the game and try to take them out and cut them down to size, and then deal with whoever's left afterwards. That the latter is what I would do. I would go after, if I was Jackson, I would go after Carl because he's clearly much more of a threat. Oh, what a devastating arrow volley by Carl. Oof, I felt that. And Carl's bringing his full force to bear here. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more trebuchet action here, but I think he got too many command points with all these troops. He's done the row here him. Oh, fuck a luck a ding dong. Oh, this is desperate. I would have done that in his base. Do that around about here or something like that and just put pressure on the fortress. Men against elves. It's not pretty. Maybe we're not playing it right, Jackson. I don't know. Ryan, what are you doing? Ryan, do something. You must be able to see something what's going on. Right, Carl can see bloody loads. Yeah, he can see. That just popped up there. And there again. This dwarven riches over here, this also needs to be used. Right, Ryan, you can see what's going on. He's going, thank you God, Jesus. Oh Ryan, I'll kiss you next time I see you. But this is not much of a force. This is not much. I want to see heroes. Gimli, get him fucking in there. All you need to have here is just maybe Gloin and a few platoons or something like that, and you'll be fine. Oh, but Carl sees it. Carl sees it, but don't be dissuaded. You might have lost just one, but don't let that deter you from going again. Get your troops out. Go again. Go again. Go again. You know, put a mine right here or something like that. Have them all churning out. Go go go. Because now he's done the army of the dead. Now he won't have that for at least another 10 or 15 minutes. But there's been a complete collapse down here. Complete collapse by Joe. Oh, and Lego is dead. He bit the bullet finally. I think Ryan did the right thing, but just a little bit too late. A little bit too late. He's done the right thing here by putting them all in the mines. This is very, very good play, and now he can get them out. But I think maybe that attack just a little bit sooner. I think Ryan could have been in for winning this game. I think, and now, well, I mean, Jackson's effectively out of the game. But now it's a 1 versus 1, and this is not what you want. You do not want to go up against the most powerful person in the game at this particular moment. Yeah, when, you know, I don't know, he has got quite a lot here, but I don't know, the momentum is with it. I don't think, how many command points, power points? I mean, Carl has got both level 25 power points. And Ryan doesn't even have the level 15 PowerPoint yet. This is what I mean. You don't want to go up against the most powerful person in the game. It's better to do a 2 versus 1, and then you just take your chances. If Ryan and Jackson actually sort of colluded together to go after Carl, Carl would have to... he'd be on the back foot quite a lot. But, yeah, Jackson out of the game. And... Carl is splitting up his forces. He's got forces all over the place. What's this random platoon doing here, Carl? He's got platoons everywhere, random rangers. You can stick banner color on those because they're level 1, and then they'll heal up nicely. I think that Army of the Dead really crippled him. But he's got to get these guys out. He's got to get them out. What's Gimli doing? What's Gimli doing? Little tip, boys. Shatterhammer from Gloin kills Army of the Dead. I will repeat that. If you do a Shatterhammer near Army of the Dead, they will all die from the Shatterhammer. You got to be a bit careful though, obviously. You don't want to be telling Gloin to go right into the middle of all of the Army of the Dead and then tell him to do a Shatterhammer because he'll probably get murdered. But if you just sort of do it just to the side, you got to pinpoint the middle of that Shatterhammer just perfectly. And then once you've got that, they'll all be toast, gone, dead. He's got the right heroes. God, if he had bloody Gimli... He had Gimli here. Sweet Moses. So we fought him to a standstill a bit here. And Carl has a secondary force here, which is doing a lot. There seems to be just so many catapults just naked, like without any backup or support. You know, they're just there by themselves. It's always a recipe for disaster. And somehow, I think he's lost. Has he lost Dane? He's lost Dane. He's level 10 as well. Oh, very good play there with the undermine. Very nicely done. Ryan is doing well. I just think that attack should have come just a bit sooner there. You've got to get him on the hop. I mean, I've basically attacked at what I thought was the right time, but I didn't have enough, and his force was just coming back after pretty much annihilating Jackson's base. But if Carl was down here, and I was up here, and he didn't have Army of the Dead, because at that point he did not have Army of the Dead, he could have been in a bit of trouble, because there's no way he could get back, because even though this is a very, destructive force, it's very slow. There's no way he would have been able to get back before his fortress and a lot of his buildings here would have been destroyed. So, make of that what you will. Oh, what's this? Oh, brilliant play. Brilliant play. I don't want to see the Mighty Catapult used against Siege Boys, because we all know it doesn't work, and if you don't know that it doesn't work, then don't be dwarves. Alright, Carl, he wants to finish this off. He's regrouping here. He's got loads of trebs now. Bozza is in there. I don't think he's got Aragorn, no? Oh god, no! Can he do Shatterhammer? No, he cannot do Shatterhammer. That would have been pretty damn helpful. And now he's just lost both of his heroes. Yeah, what do you do? This is a little bit. Yeah, now you're up against someone who's got all the power points, all the money, and loads of troops. Carl, 5 grand, 984 out of 1,000. That's not good. That is not a nice place. So, Carl has nearly 3 times the amount of troops. It had to go there, didn't it? It couldn't have just gone there, or gone there. No, it had to go over the pikeys. Those goddamn battle wagons. Right, he's got his upgrades here. Carl is going to try his best to make this as quick as possible, but I think Ryan's going to make this a painful experience. Oh, that's a shattering arrow volley right there. It's just too much firepower here, I think. Elven wood, devastating, making it worse. Hobbits. Hobbits can be devastating. But they're Carls. This is not good. And Carl has been very systematic with how he's going through here. There's nothing really you can do if you're Ryan here. The game is over. Pretty similar to me in the first game. I must admit I didn't have any tower or defences along here. Had plenty along here and here, but just not through the middle. But would that have done much? It would have at least stopped the troops from coming by. But there's a lot of siege here. This is very, very difficult to beat. But you know, one undermine right here would have taken it out if it had been available. If there were, you know, towers here and you had men of Dale in them and whatnot, a lot of these troops would not have been able to come close. And then when you have to deal with these things, just do the undermine, and then you can counterattack after that. I guess the siege is probably the most difficult thing to be able to get. He's trying to get run over as many of those rangers as possible, but those things are mighty weak. Ooh, devastating. He's doing his best to make this painful. And now the first trebuchet has the first shot on the fortress. And he's done it, he's done it. He's got the bloody undermine. It came back in time and he was able to get all but one. This is brilliant. But it's still difficult, still not able to get close. Rohirrim as well. Carl wants to do this in one. He does not want to come back. Carl does not want to have lots of other troops coming in. He thinks to himself, this should be a force that should be able to do it by itself. Now, has he got the oil casks? I don't think he's got the oil casks. That's a shame, because at least you can burn these guys. Ryan, if you're going to go down, take everybody down with you. It is interesting. This game is very interesting. I think Carl played it very, very well. I think Carl also relied on a lack of aggression by a lot of other people. Lewis, I don't know, it was an experiment with the trebuchets, I guess, at the beginning. I know you're not Gondor very often, but I think Lewis being out so quickly I don't know, did that really change? I still think Jackson should have gone after Carl the moment Lewis was out. I think that that should be your next target. Go for him with a vengeance. Ryan's trying to build out here. Oh, Carl. I would have given Carl a perfect 10 out of 10 in this game, but seeing these rangers shooting this, I don't know, sir. I don't think I can give that accolade to you, sir. Right. Now it's just a case of hunting what's left of Ryan. Probably some more Farms, I would have thought. This is also the time to convert to cavalry. Yeah, there we go. And that's it. Ryan did not want to, endure the pain anymore and was put out of his misery. So yes, very well played to Carl. Me, Jackson, Ryan, and Lewis definitely have to do some soul searching as to how shit we were and how pansy we were in that game. But hopefully, on the next Monday Night Raw, we'll be able to bring it back. Catch you in the next one, lads.